Have you ever felt like happiness is just out of reach, no matter how hard you try to find it? Imagine waking up every day feeling like something is missing, even though you have everything you've ever wanted. This feeling isn't a new problem, it's a puzzle that humans have been trying to solve for thousands of years. Today, we're going to explore why the things we often pursue, like money, fame, and adventure, might not actually lead to lasting happiness. Instead, we'll delve into ancient wisdom, particularly from Stoic philosophy, which offers timeless tools for finding true contentment in a world that constantly tries to sell us the next big thing. If you've ever felt that persistent itch that no amount of success or shopping sprees can scratch, you're in the right place to understand why, and more importantly, how to truly satisfy it. If you appreciate what we're doing here, I'd like to ask you for a simple, free favor: hit the subscribe button and don't skip any part of the video. Because if you're here seeking answers beyond the conventional, you're already an exception, and every moment of this journey counts. We often imagine happiness as a state of constant joy and satisfaction derived from achieving our goals or acquiring new possessions. Yet, how often have we reached that sought-after milestone, only to find the satisfaction fleeting, quickly giving way to a new desire or a lingering sense of emptiness? This phenomenon isn't just a product of modern times, it has been observed and discussed by philosophers for centuries, particularly by the Stoics, who challenged our very notions of what brings true happiness. Take, for instance, the pursuit of career success, a common goal for many. We work tirelessly, often sacrificing time with family and personal health, driven by the promise of happiness through achievement and recognition. However, when we finally reach the peak of our professional life, the anticipated happiness can sometimes morph into stress or burnout instead. Why does this happen? According to Stoicism, it's because we've anchored our happiness to external outcomes that are not only volatile but also beyond our complete control. The Stoics taught that true happiness isn't found in external achievements or possessions, but in cultivating inner resilience and virtue. They believed that by focusing on our internal character and responses to the world, we could find a more stable and lasting contentment. This doesn't mean that Stoics were against pleasure or success, rather, they emphasized not becoming dependent on such externalities for our happiness. This wisdom rings particularly true when we look at personal relationships. We often expect our friends, partners, or family members to be sources of constant happiness and support. Yet, every relationship experiences ups and downs, misunderstandings, and conflicts are inevitable and can turn what we believe to be a source of great happiness into a source of distress. Here again, Stoicism provides a valuable lesson. While we cannot control others' actions or feelings, we can control our reactions and adapt our expectations. Even our leisure activities, like vacations, which we plan meticulously to escape the routines and stresses of daily life, can unexpectedly turn into sources of distress. How many of us have experienced the frustration of canceled flights, bad weather, or simply not feeling as relaxed as we anticipated? Once again, the Stoic approach would advise us to focus on our internal state rather than external circumstances. It teaches us that our mental and emotional preparation for handling unforeseen challenges can significantly impact our experience of happiness or distress. In exploring these examples, it becomes clear that distress often follows happiness not because our lives are flawed or because we fail to achieve what we desire, but because our expectations of unmitigated, continuous happiness from external sources are unrealistic. The Stoic philosophy encourages us to look inward for stability and peace, reminding us that our capacity for happiness is not dictated by our successes or failures, but by our ability to maintain tranquility and virtue in the face of life's inevitable fluctuations. This shift in perspective might just be the key to transforming our experiences of distress into opportunities for personal growth and deeper satisfaction. We're naturally inclined to seek things that give us pleasure and avoid those that cause us pain. But what if I told you that this very instinct, while seemingly beneficial, often leads us into a trap? A trap where the more we chase pleasure, the more elusive it becomes. It's a bit like chasing the horizon: no matter how fast you run, you never quite reach it. This isn't a new idea. Stoic philosophers from ancient times had a lot to say about this. They warned us about the dangers of placing our happiness in the hands of fleeting pleasures. According to Stoicism, true happiness doesn't come from external sources like wealth, success, or sensory indulgence. Instead, happiness comes from something much more stable and within your control: your own virtuous behavior and inner resilience. Stoic philosophers, like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus, focused less on seeking pleasure and more on developing virtue and maintaining inner peace. They believed that by controlling our responses to the world around us, we could achieve true happiness. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." This statement encapsulates a fundamental belief in Stoicism, that our internal mindset, rather than external circumstances, largely governs our well-being. Imagine yourself at a lavish buffet, surrounded by every kind of food you love. The initial reaction is to indulge, but if we give in to every impulse to eat whatever we want, we soon face the consequences: discomfort and perhaps even health issues. The Stoics liken this to other pleasures in life. Indulgence might offer temporary satisfaction, but it often leads to long-term problems when not managed wisely. This is where the concept of moderation comes in, a key Stoic value. Let's dive deeper into something more contemporary, like social media. It's designed to be pleasurable, offering quick hits of dopamine with likes, shares, and comments. However, as many of us know, too much time on social media can turn into a source of anxiety and dissatisfaction. We start comparing ourselves to others, and what was once a source of pleasure becomes a source of stress. The Stoics would point out that we've allowed external things, digital thumbs up and pixelated hearts, to dictate our well-being. Understanding this trap is the first step toward escaping it. Stoicism teaches us to develop self-awareness and control over our desires. By recognizing the fleeting nature of pleasure, we can start to detach our happiness from it. We can enjoy things, sure, but we do so without becoming dependent on them. We learn to find joy in the process and in the present moment, rather than in the outcome. Stoicism doesn't just ask us to restrain ourselves for no good reason. It's about focusing our efforts on what truly enriches our lives, relationships, personal growth, and contributing to our community. These sources of satisfaction are not only more enduring but are also largely within our control. They are less likely to lead us into the trap of always wanting more and never feeling fulfilled. It's crucial to be mindful of the trap of pleasure seeking. It's about balancing our pursuit of pleasure with wisdom and moderation. By anchoring our lives in Stoic principles, we can navigate the sea of desires without getting lost in the pursuit of fleeting pleasures and instead find a deeper, more meaningful kind of happiness.